The way the UN resolution is being implemented in Libya undermines international law. That was the warning from Russia's foreign minister, who has called on NATO to adhere to the resolution or lose Moscow's trust. Archie's Alice Hibbert has more from Moscow.
Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov suggested that a lack of trust was in danger of forging a wedge between Russia and the other permanent members of the UN Security Council. And that's because of the way Russia perceives NATO is implementing the agreed UN resolution number 1973 that was voted on back in March when Russia abstained. And that allowed a no-fly zone to be implemented over Libya. However, Russia now believes that NATO's actions in Libya go beyond that of merely implementing a no-fly zone, and in fact now on regime change and allegedly actively supporting the opposition. And that dwindling of trust, Lavrov today suggested, only escalated following the very recent visit of South African President Jacob Zuma to Tripoli to talk and try and negotiate with Colonel Gaddafi, a visit which was then almost immediately followed by a resumption in NATO strikes. And today Lavrov warned that that growing lack of trust could cause Russia in the future to pause and think twice before agreeing to any such resolution again.
Everybody involved in the implementation of the resolution must show maximum responsibility before international law and the United Nations, keeping in mind the authority of the UN Security Council. Otherwise, God forbid, next time anything of the sort happens, we will act differently, as no one will take what's being said at face value, things like creating a no-fly zone.
Well, these statements, of course, come in the wake of a very recent UN report which cited that gross atrocities are being committed in Libya on both sides, albeit less numerous on the part of the opposition. And of course it comes very shortly after last weekend's G8 when President Medvedev agreed to send a Russian envoy to Benghazi to attempt to negotiate a ceasefire there. Well, on Syria, Minister Lavrov reiterated Moscow's position that they are staunchly against any attempts by the international community to force regime change within the country, warning that any such change could destabilize the country and would be catastrophic for the region. However, Lavrov did say that Russia does still support President Assad to continue to talk and negotiate within the opposition within his own country, and also encouraging President Assad to move swiftly in implementing the reforms that he's promised to do within Syria.